Hi, I'm Frank Lavadio. I'm the founder of the Lavadio programs, the self-help programs against addictions. We are actually the market leader in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, and we want to see whether we can also get into the English-speaking countries. Myself, I studied psychology in the US, in New York, but then went back to Europe. And when I look at today's programs that are available in English language, I find them a bit superficial, not thorough enough, maybe not helpful enough. And that's why we think we have a good chance also of helping you guys out there in the English speaking countries. So let's see. We offer programs against porn addiction, against alcohol problems, against eating disorders, gambling. But so far, we started with two of them because professional translation into English is pretty expensive. So we have the porn addiction or sex addiction program and the gambling addiction program to start with. And I decided I will do some videos, maybe 20, 30 videos to give you an insight, come to you with some good advice from the program. And yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. The first video today, I would like to give you 10 good, maybe ideas. In the coming videos, I will maybe more elaborate more on them. But let's start with some general ideas, and maybe I can inspire you with those. And check maybe our website lavadio.com for further information. But okay, I will look at my laptop because I prepared something for you. First advice is find out the typical triggers for your addictive behavior. Those could be fears, stress, loneliness, certain people, certain places, certain times of the day, poor self-confidence, unstructured time, and so on. Try to avoid these triggers once you find them, or learn how to deal with them in a different way. Think about what these triggers tell you about the underlying problems of your addiction. Because don't confuse triggers with the reasons for the addiction. Yeah, there are other people who also have stress or feel lonely or feel anger, and they are not addicted. Yeah, so there must be different reasons, underlying reasons for your addiction. So one thing is identifying the triggers that always lead you to addictive behavior, right? And then try to avoid them or deal with them differently. Maybe I'll make a few videos about that in the future. And the other thing is try to understand already which are the underlying reasons. Second advice, whenever you feel pressure and craving again, then tell yourself, not now. It's allowed in 5 minutes or in 10 minutes, but not now. Yeah. You will be able to resist for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You see, psychologically, it's completely different whether you fight your addiction and say, no, I cannot do this now. I cannot go to those porn sites, or I cannot go to casino. I cannot drink. Or whether you say, yeah, it's allowed, but not now, in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes. Yeah, that's a huge difference psychologically. And then obviously in 5 or 10 minutes, you hopefully will not give in, but maybe take another 5 or 10 minutes. Or even better, you distract yourself within the next 5 or 10 minutes. And many times, I mean, this is not fighting your addiction, it's not solving your addiction, but many times it gives you relief for quite some time. In many cases, many hours, that you don't think of your addiction anymore. Third advice, I'll go through them a bit quickly because this video can only be 10-15 minutes. Yeah, so it's just a snapshot, it's an insight. Third advice is, you might find it very difficult, but don't be so ashamed about your addiction. Nobody is perfect, and the fact that you are trying to overcome your addiction shows your great character. It shows your great character. I mean, too many times as an addict, You feel shame, you feel guilt, you feel like a piece of, but you need to get out of this vicious cycle. And for sure, I will make another video on that because it's such a huge subject. So why not start and think, hey, I'm here in this video. I'm on the web looking for solutions. I cannot be that bad of a guy or a girl. So I have something good in me that leads me to these pages trying to find advice against my addiction. Yeah. Because you need to get what I said before, you need to break the cycle. Because the more you feel guilt and shame, the more you try to suppress is a word, right? The more you try to suppress those feelings with even more porn or gambling or alcohol or food, whatever you're addicted to, right? So you need to break this cycle. Fourth advice, don't try to overcome your addiction in one day. That is such a typical mistake. It's more likely that you will succeed if you take small steps, right? Day by day, instead of trying to overcome everything in one day immediately, right? If you divide the path out of your addiction into many small pieces, then you can go that way. You can go that path, take that path, because small steps you can take, right? Therefore, maybe you start with some part of your addiction. If, for example, you're porn addicted and you watch always a certain kind of very extreme porn, why not start with that one and start watching something less extreme, right? That's what I mean. Or if you drink, well, let's keep it with that example as a start, right? So take small steps and get slowly out of the addiction. You need these little success experiences in order to motivate yourself to go the next steps. If you tell yourself, as of tomorrow, I will not do this and that anymore, that is so huge. That is so unlikely. Let's be honest. That's so unlikely that you will manage that. And then if you don't manage, you will get even more depressed and fall deeper into your addiction. Advice number 5 is, let me see what I prepared for you. Number 5 is, most people with addictions almost everybody had problems earlier in life. Can you write down your 3 biggest problems in life? And what do you think they have to do with your addiction today? Think about that. What could you do today to deal different with those old situations? That is, I'm touching here one of the biggest areas in fighting an addiction, because they are almost always stemming from unresolved problems in your childhood, your youth, your early adulthood. And there's a whole science around how do you deal with those. And in our program, if you check the site, but on the site there's not so much about the details, but in the program we deal at great length with that and give you a lot of advice and many good exercises how to get into those root causes for your addiction and how to solve them, how to deal with them in a different way. But maybe now, as just in a small video, you could start already now with thinking about which are those big problems in your life that maybe you haven't processed properly. Number 6, when you feel craving, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, try to relax, and travel in your mind to a place or to a situation where you felt really good. Sometimes you can chase away the craving for many hours with that method. Now, we need to distinguish. An advice like this is dealing with the symptoms of the addiction, right? So to get you calmer, to make you more relaxed, to stop craving from surging, from happening. Obviously, these kind of tips can give you relief, and they are very helpful, don't get me wrong. But obviously, they cannot solve the addiction. But you need both. You need things like the one I mentioned before, finding the underlying reasons, going through all the methods that we introduce in the program. But at the same time, you also need some very practical things. And relaxation training and mind traveling is one of the many areas you can apply, one of the many tools you can apply to get some relief. Number 7, and that is elaborating a bit on what I mentioned before. You will not succeed in overcome your addiction within a few days. Rather, try to be 10% less addicted this week. 10% less. That is something you can manage. Like if you drink whatever bottles, however many bottles a week, reduce 10%. If you spend 10 hours watching porn per week, try to reduce it to 9. If you eat and so on, what I want to bring across, right? 10%. That's what you can manage. And if you manage again 10% next week, then you manage already 20%, and so on. So in theory, in 10 weeks, you could get rid of your addiction. Obviously, it's not that easy. But the key here is that you take little steps. It shouldn't hurt so much. It shouldn't hurt your brain so much. 10% your brain will not even notice. Yeah. So 10% less, that should be your objective. Don't go about and say, as of tomorrow, no more porn, or no more alcohol, or no more junk food, or whatever, no more gambling. You will not manage, let's be honest, unless you go into some clinic where you just don't have any access. But if you do that at home, you will not manage. So go step by step and set yourself realistic, achievable objectives, right? Objective or advice number 8. Have you ever considered the idea that maybe you started getting addicted in order to take revenge on somebody, like your mother, your father, ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, a teacher, former school colleagues who bullied you, on somebody who treated you really bad? You might be thinking, when you do your addictive behavior, you might be thinking, hey mother, or hey father, or hey teacher, look at me, look how I behave now, look at what state I'm in. This is only because you treated me like this, like that, so badly. And now look at what has become of me. Right? At first it sounds absurd, but so many addicts from our experience, and you can read books about it, so many addicts have this as one of the root causes. Yeah, they try to take revenge on somebody. And if you see that in yourself, maybe after thinking about it a bit, but if you come to that conclusion that that is part of your addiction problem, then think about whether you really want to give that power to that person. Is that person, like your mother, your father, whoever, or ex-boyfriend, is that person really worth that you suffer so much today? Yeah. Do you really want to give that power to that person? So that can be an important insight that should make you think. If it applies to you, right? I'm not saying that all these 10 advices and everything I will go through in the next videos, that this is valid for everybody. But these are things that are that apply to many people with addiction problems. That's why I bring them up here. Number 9, a very practical approach that sounds crazy at first, but when you feel craving and pressure, it can sometimes help you to just smile for 2 minutes. The muscles in your face will send signals to the brain that you feel good, even if you don't feel good. Yeah? But after 2 minutes, the brain starts distributing happiness hormones. There have been so many studies about it. It sounds crazy. But, we have like 21 muscles in our face that are connected to smiling. And these muscles have direct nerve connections to the brain. And then the brain really distributes through your body happiness hormones. Even if you don't feel happy, but you can cheat your brain this way. It sounds crazy. And you don't need to go like this, right? Just a little bit of smiling is already enough. That's why you can do it also when you're somewhere outside, or you do it in your car, or even in office, at office, right? But you need to do it at least 2 minutes, otherwise it doesn't work. So that was a very practical one. And the last one for today, treat yourself sometimes. Give yourself a present or do something good to yourself. Something that has nothing to do with your addiction. Integrate more enjoyable things into your daily life. It can be delicious foods, it can be sports, it can be cinema, friends, whatever. So that is real happiness hormones, not like the one from the tip before. And especially if you're addicted, you often lack those moments of happiness, of enjoyable things in your life. Um, I cut it short here because I see it's 16 minutes already. I hope you enjoyed these first 10 advice. If one or two or three of them are helpful, that will be already great. It cannot be all 10, no way. But find the ones that are helpful for you and maybe join me in my next videos or check our website, lavadio.com. And hopefully the team here can help you as well. Thanks. Bye bye.